Hello, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. And I have a very special guest today here with me. She's Florentina from Lithuania. How are you, Florentina?
Hi, I'm very good.
So, how's it going? Lockdown and all in your side?
Well, it doesn't feel much like a lockdown. Yes, we cannot travel, but now we can start to travel again. So everything is fine. And in Lithuania, the situation with the COVID, it's pretty well. We don't have much people that are sick because we have a very strict rules what we should do. So I think it's all under control.
Okay, perfect. So let me just give a big intro about Florentina. She is basically more of a traveler, what I assume, and that's why I've called her to, share her stories of travel. And rest of the introduction might should be given by Florentina. So Florentina, just introduce yourself to the audience. Who are you? What you do?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, I'm a traveler. I cannot call myself actually a real traveler or that it's my business or I live from it, but this is something that's my favorite hobby that I can't live without. And all my savings, all my money all comes just to the travels. I'm not, collecting money on a house or on a car. No, I collect money on traveling. So this is where I spend my all money. And basically, I'm a PhD student. This year, I'm gonna get a PhD status, and I'm a researcher and scientist. And my topic is not related with traveling, but I have to travel with my work. I have to travel to conferences and some projects. So I really like that part of my work. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And I got to know that you're doing something in coaching and counseling, I guess.
Yes, yes. I forgot to mention even I'm a scientist, but I'm very interested in psychology and coaching and entrepreneurship. I joined various projects as well there, and I just got certified in coaching. So I'm starting a new business related with coaching.
Oh, okay. Perfect. So, keeping all this in mind, uh, what I have called Florentina here, audience, we will be talking and we will be basically listening to stories of travel from Florentina. As you have, how many countries you have visited so far, Florentina?
Yeah, as I know, I visited 35 countries, but
Wow.
some of them really not just once. So yeah, but and
Okay.
it's just the beginning.
That's what I was about to ask. That how many do you aim more to visit? So you're saying it's just a beginning. 35 is just a number.
Yeah, like I think I need to see more of the world because it's something that I don't know. It's my motivation for life.
Okay. So I'll start with a very basic question. So what traveling does to a person? What happens when you travel? What do you think?
Uh, I started to travel very early, actually, when I was a teenager, and I see that comparing with my friends that they were not traveling, I believe that I have a wider see of the world, and I saw Lithuania is kind of a conservative and strict country, and there are not because of the Soviet Union. Many years there are still some old people are very strict about people from abroad, different religions and races and all these things. So I think that traveling helps us to be more open to other people, other cultures, and this is what I see in myself. I have no problems with any cultures or religions or people, and some of my friends has that which are not traveling.
Oh, okay. So it's more about you become more flexible, you become more aware about the people, and it's like you got better observation of people.
Yes,
The
I believe.
more you know like interact with people, the more places you visit, the more culture you know, and the more you become more highly observant actually. And
Yes.
and so somehow it's connected with your counseling part as well, your coaching and counseling part.
Yeah, yeah. And also you take something from that cultures and you are becoming multicultural and
Yeah.
yeah, and you can
So
teach your environment how to act in different way, not to be so strict about everything.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So, what about your stories? You know, just share some. So I'm here to listen some good stories, and I'm sure audience will be, like fond of listening some stories of travel of yours.
Well, I don't know, like uh, I have of course stories and many stories just to maybe to inform that I'm not a traveler that like fancy travels, and I'm more a traveler that searching for cheapest flights, cheapest tickets, and cheapest places. And this is very fun because I like to stay in other people's houses to live for a while, you know, and this is how you get more in the culture. All the travels has a story and they're always very different because if, for example, if you travel to India, where I was twice, you have one stories, and if you go into USA, it's totally different stories. And it's more, of course, about the culture differences and the people that you meet. So it's very different because in India I was twice, as I mentioned, and when I go to India, I feel I'm searching for some, peaceful places, mountains, hiking in the mountains. Also, I was living in ashram in India, uh, and it's absolutely different. And if when I was in USA, I was in Miami, Jamaica, and all that kind of places. It's absolutely different, you know. It's a total contrast.
Yeah, it's also definitely cultural wise, so it would be a huge difference for sure. You know, the subcontinent part with respect in comparison with USA, for sure there will be a huge difference. But what about people? So are the people the same, or the human traits are same? What about the human personalities throughout the world?
Well, I cannot say that it's a very big difference between people, maybe more different about culture and religions, but people usually want to travel and meet nice people everywhere, and that's very nice. Even if you are or in USA or in India or in Europe, people are used to, even don't know you say hi, hello, how are you? Maybe in USA, I felt more that kind of compliments from people, even from women in the street. They're saying, "Oh, you're wearing nice shoes. Your hair is nice." And for example, in India, you are not receiving that kind of compliments because people are more maybe strict about it, and they are not watching you that much. And this is different culture.
Okay, so basically, it's like you got there's several kind of not exactly compliments. It's more about the several traits of people that can be found in several countries, and it depends basically on rather than being on people. It's more about the nation with, in which you're traveling.
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. So what about the weather? Let's just talk about the weather. So what's your favorite weather, if you want to mention?
Well, I'm a hot weather person and I feel very good in the hot places. Uh, I guess the hottest places I was Arizona. It's a really hot place and it's like desert, but that weather for me is perfect. Yeah,
So yep, yep.
and this winter, before the lockdown, actually in March, I was visiting Iceland, and in Iceland was extremely cold and a lot of snow. And this is not my kind of weather, but the Iceland itself is super amazing place.
So that's what I was about to ask. So you don't want to go to Antarctica rather than going to a hotter space?
Well, actually, I would like to. I just need a lot of warm clothes. But of course, I feel better in a hot weather.
Yeah, since it's about traveling, so you would go, but with some additional clothes to more cold place.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, what about the challenges? I guess since you travel a lot and it's your hobby, there might be some challenges that you might have faced, or it's common that the common challenges that a traveler can face. What's your take about that?
Well, I guess because I really love to travel and I'm not a very person that keeps on strict, you know, structure in traveling. I can change my plans very fast. And of course, sometimes it happens that a flight is canceled, or I don't know, you're late in the bus or you're late in a train or something like this. But basically there are not that much challenges, and people when I meet people, they're usually very kind, and if you need any help, they're helping. So I never got in a situation that I have a very big challenges. Oh, well, however, sometimes I travel, not sometimes actually, very often I travel with a kid because I'm a mom. And uh, once it happened to one thing that I'm very embarrassed to talk about, but I decided I'm gonna tell. Last year, we were in France, in Paris, and we had to wait for the flight, and I almost lost my kid
Whoa.
because, yeah, that was really not a funny story, but we have to wait for a train to the airport, and we had to wait for 3 hours, I guess, and it was very hot outside, so I found a place where my kid can play. And I was sitting nearby reading a book, but it was so hot, so I went to the place where there is a shadow, and I told my son that play here, I'm gonna be here. And he saw where I am. But it was some kind of corner that he couldn't see me. And I was always checking if he is still there. And I was checking. And then I decided to drink some water. So I needed to go to take the water. And maybe 5 minutes I was not checking on him, and I saw that there's not my kid nowhere. I started to panic, but I sit in the same place. I thought maybe he will come here. And suddenly I saw a policeman coming with my kid. My kid was screaming and crying out loud. And I was so embarrassed because I went to the policeman and I said, "This is my kid." But my kid was so angry at me because he thought that I run away from him. So the policeman said, "This is your mom," and he said, "Oh my God." And I told my son, "Don't do that," because my kid just understands my language and doesn't understand the English language. And the policeman didn't understand what we are talking about. So after a while, I explained my son, "Don't do like this because policeman not gonna give you back." So after a while, everything was okay, but that was a very scary story actually.
It was instant retaliation from the kid.
Yeah,
Okay, fine. So you enjoy traveling with your kid.
yeah,
At times it might give you challenges as well, like this strange story.
yeah.
Okay, so what about shopping? So do you like usually like to shop in countries or just travel?
I'm not a shopping person, and I'm not a very a city person actually. I like nature and to explore nature. So when I come to the some cities, I usually trying to find a place that what can I see outside the city. So even in India, the Delhi is my is the city where I would never want to come again because there's many people, and I really like nature and being in nature.
Oh, fine. So you visited Goa there in India? It's a bit,
Uh,
or
no,
Mumbai?
no, in India I was just in the north part two times, and I was traveling. I had a road trip to Himalayas in the mountains. I
Okay,
was going to see where Yamuna comes and Ganga comes. That kind of places.
okay. So that part is very good. You know the mountain parts of that in India. That's very good to see actually. So
Yeah,
what
it's
about
very nice.
so what about food? Coming to the food, so traveling is directly
Yes,
linked with the food. So
yes.
what's your interest in food and how do you like it in the start?
So I guess it's important to mention that I'm pure vegetarian since I was 12. So I cannot always try all the tradition food of everywhere I go, but I'm trying to take something vegetarian. So I guess I really like actually Indian food. Even I don't like the spicy food, but still India is it's very nice for that. And also, I in India I prefer street food because many people are saying that don't eat street food in India, but I always like to do opposite. So when I when I tried the street food in India, I was so amazed because it's super cheap and super tasty.
Uh,
Also, yeah, also Thailand has a very good cuisine as well. So I really like that also, and street food in Thailand is really amazing.
yeah.
And also, I was living in Czech Republic for 3 months, and I had to explore a little bit of that cuisine. It's of course uh, different, but also I really like. They have very strange, actually, foods that I don't remember the names, but I really like that as well.
Okay, perfect. So can you just name just a few dishes of India if you remember?
Yes, of course. Samosa, chapati, sabji, roti, um, the the sweets like gulab jamunis and I forgot, but yeah,
Dhokla.
I know some. Yeah, yeah.
So you might have heard of thali,
What?
thali. You know,
Tadi?
different dishes. You know, in small pots. You know, presented in a
Oh, in
big.
that big one.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So that's called thali mainly.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and dosa.
Yes, that's a big thing as
Yeah,
well.
exactly. The
Yeah.
tortilla kind of a bread.
Okay.
Yeah, and biryani.
Yeah, but it's usually with chicken, right? Not always,
Yeah,
maybe.
exactly. So, it's all. So, what about Lithuania's food? So, what kind of food you have people have in your country actually?
Well, we have also some different food, and it's mainly made from potatoes. In Lithuania, it's very popular. So we have many foods with potatoes. It's made like pancakes from potatoes and some balls from potatoes. That kind of food.
Oh, okay. So, must be some salads, different type
Yes,
of salad.
uh, I guess we don't have much original salads. I guess it's mainly the same like everywhere.
Okay. So, and what about rice? Dishes with rice or no?
Yeah, we have that, but more popular are with potatoes.
Oh, okay. So, potato chips mainly, French fries.
Yeah.
So, with potato, the best thing I can remember is French fries.
Okay.
The most famous dish around the world.
Yeah, you can find it everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So we keep take at this to some kind of rapid fire thing. So I'll be asking you just a random question about just a list of things, and you may answer it quickly. So what
Okay.
about the three best cities with the best street food or dhaba food?
So I guess that would be Thailand, Bangkok. I mean, the city Bangkok.
Okay,
Um, in India, I've been in many cities that they really have nice street food. So
okay.
India, and about street food, maybe let's say Arizona.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what do they have in Arizona? So which kind of
Well, well, usually it's burgers and French fries, and but they have a lot of vegan options that it's very good for me.
okay. So perfect. So it's Arizona and India and Thailand, Bangkok mainly.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And the most serene places, the calmness, like everything is at peace. You can mention the cities or the countries, three or five for you.
Okay. So I guess again I would say India, but of course down in up in the mountains.
Okay.
Uh, it's amazing places where it's absolutely silent, no people, and if you find places where are not coming tourists, then it's wow. Then also I could say Iceland. It's also amazing place outside the city because I was not in the city in the capital, but traveling every day somewhere out. It's extremely peaceful place. And I also very like in France. There are very small city with the name of Thésée. It's in Burgundy. It's also very calm place and very nice. What else? Talking about calm places. Oh, I remember when I was in Malta, and I also went outside the main places. It's also a very nice place and very calm.
Okay. So what about maybe the most welcoming people? Like which nation has those the most welcoming people who are always welcoming and like they treat you as like a family, not as a guest or as a traveler.
Hmm. Well, because as I mentioned before, I like to stay in someone's places because I check for places or Airbnb or booking and sometimes live in a room for with people. So everywhere where I travel, I felt that I'm very welcome, and maybe I really remember when I was in Malta again. I stayed with one woman, and she was so kind. She even was giving me her car, and she said, "You can go everywhere you want." Of course, I didn't take it, but that was really a nice gesture. And she said, "Go to my fridge, eat whatever you want to," and that was very nice. Also, I felt. Even I was in Egypt and I was living even in a hotel. I still felt that people are very welcoming and asking. They're very kind and if you ask something, you will get information what you want, and they're not looking at you as a you know for example, in India, I felt that white people are more like people that has money, and some Indians are looking at you as a person who has a lot of money and are very rich. So they're trying to do something for you and then asking for the money. So I'm really trying to avoid that kind of situations because I'm not a very rich person that I don't feel good in being treated like that.
Okay.
So I
So
guess, yeah.
Okay. And what about the most, say, adventurous places? Like, if a person is adventurous, so what would be some places where he or she must visit?
Hmm. I guess it depends on what kind of adventures you're looking for, but if
Hilly areas, maybe a mountain
yeah,
range, and all.
yeah, so I wanted to tell that for me it's very important to find hiking places. So mountains are very important, and I guess that Arizona is an amazing place for that because in Arizona there are many hills, many mountains, and many trekking places. So so Arizona, also in India, I could say, because there are also a lot of hiking places, and despite that, it is a lot of places, saint places where people are going doing pilig- pilgrimage pilgrimage walks. Yeah, so these kind of places, and I believe Iceland is something that I never saw before anywhere in the world because it has warm rivers, it has geysers, that come from the. It has black sand, and I guess it's very adventurous place, and also many hiking places. And especially in winter, it's very hard to drive in Iceland because the weather is super wild and it's snowing and you don't see the road and you're driving on the ice, and that's super dangerous but very adventurous.
Okay, okay. And what about the cuisine? So, what's your most favorite cuisines? Like top three?
So I guess I would say Indian, um, Thailand, and maybe Czech Republic.
Okay,
It's a
Czech
bit
Republic.
similar to Italian but different.
Okay, so okay, talking about food, let's just have another question. So, what are you good at cooking? Actually, do you cook?
Yes, I do.
So what's your favorite dishes to cook actually, or your child's best dish he likes from your hand?
Yeah, so I don't know, I just really love pasta and I can eat pasta every day. And it's very easy to prepare actually. So
That is true. It's true.
yeah, so of course it's not a big deal, but I really like to make sweets. I like to make cakes, like the real ones, when I bake everything, make the layers and all. So I think I'm good at it. And of course, it takes a lot of time, but it is worthy. And also, I like to in daily life, I have to prepare food very fast. So usually, I do something very simple. But when I have time, then I like to experiment and I don't know, to do some lasagna or the the foods that they need more time. So also some potato dishes and uh, something with rice and that kind of stuff.
Okay, so the quick bites mainly. Like
Yes,
they're prepared
yes,
fast and okay.
yes.
So you mentioned cakes. What about sweet dishes? What's your favorite amongst from all over the world? What are some of your favorite sweet dishes, including cake?
Good.
So you have mentioned cake.
Yeah, that's a very good question. I never thought about it.
You
What
mentioned
I
gulab
like the
jamun
most.
from India.
Yeah, of course, I love them, but I never made it myself yet.
It's actually very hard to make.
I believe so. Even
They're easy to eat, but not easy to make.
even actually I used to spend a lot of time in Indian temple because in Lithuania we have some, but So people are preparing food there, and I also had the opportunity to prepare the food for people. But you don't have to do this alone. There are many people are doing this. But
Mm.
yeah, gulab jamunis I've never did, but I saw how people are doing that.
Okay.
It's Yeah, and it's not the food that you can eat every day because it's not healthy at all.
Why it's not healthy? It's a delicious sweet.
It's very delicious, but a lot of sugar and oil and all that things. Yeah.
Okay. So a person eating potatoes daily, she won't like that much oil, I guess. So
Yeah.
what else? Cakes and gulab jamuns. So other dishes and sweet dishes in like maybe Lithuania. You mentioned Thailand. Some sweet dishes in Thailand. Some good
Mm,
sweet dishes.
I don't remember if I ever tried anything sweet in Thailand. Um, mm, I
Aren't they sweet
cannot.
people? Aren't they sweet people? My bad with that.
But I guess I trying some basics everywhere. Some chocolate. Yeah, in Belgium, they saying that they
Yeah,
have the
chocolate.
high. Yeah, so I remember I tried chocolate also. Everywhere while travel, I'm trying chocolate actually. Yes, but in Thailand I didn't. I guess.
Okay. What about coffee? Which nation actually serves you the has served you the best coffee so far? Is it
Hmm.
Brazil?
I haven't been in Brazil yet.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but. I don't like coffee in USA. I don't know why it not tastes good. And I remember in January I was with my friend in Cayman Islands, and I was searching for a coffee because in USA I couldn't find the proper coffee. And I said to my friend, I really want a coffee like from Europe. And then we went to Subway and I bought a
Oh,
coffee, and that was the taste that I wanted to have. So, actually, the best coffee, um, uh, I'm trying to remember where I tried because actually, many years I was not drinking coffee. I was making an experiment with me, and just lately I started to drink it again. But maybe I could say in Italy I had the best coffee.
okay. And
Yeah.
but pizza must also be very good in Italy, I guess.
What?
Pizza from Italy.
Oh yes, of course, of course. The real pizza is it's something. Yeah, it's very good.
What about flights? The experience at airports.
Uh, can you repeat it again?
It's your experience at the airports or your experience at flights.
Uh, yeah, actually, my flights usually are quite well, and I'm a person that search for cheap tickets, and because of that, usually the flight time it's very expand, and you have to wait in one airport and other airport. That's fun actually because you can uh, stay in few airports because once I had to stay in San Francisco airport for 12 hours, so I was able to see the city in that 12 hours. So that was very good thing. Mm. And uh, with the flights, I had some stories. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it, but uh, I usually travel in economy class, but I don't know how, but somehow it happens that I come into business class. And
Wow.
yeah.
How did that?
For example, one time I was traveling and I was sitting in my seat in economy class, and there comes a guy and he said, you are sitting in my place." I said, "I'm sitting in my place," and we checked that we have the same seat. And
Uh,
then I come to the person that is responsible for that, and I said that the situation is like this. And she looked at it and she said, "Wait a minute." And after a minute, she said, "Go to the business class," because there were no free spaces. And I got a business class. I got 3 seats, so I was able to sleep and got food, everything. Yeah, and the same thing happened when I was going back. So I was like a princess, you know.
Wow, so fortunate enough to travel in business class.
Yeah.
Very good. Awesome. That's true. That's actually you feel like the half of the journey is already completed if you're visiting business class.
Yeah.
The kind of
Yeah.
protocol you get, so you're like, my journey is done, man. I don't want to go to the country. Why not going? Why not going back to home in the same business class?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect. So something music. What's traveling and music? You find some relationship in that? Is there the link, or is there some relation of music and traveling, or it's just random thing?
Well, of course, every time I can hear some kind of music, because in India you can always hear the in India the music is of cars beeping, you know. I could call it music because
You, uh, I'm sure you're talking about Delhi.
yeah, and not just Delhi, but it's some kind of it becomes a music, and you need few days to to get used to that, because in the first day it looks that you cannot be there, but after a while you get to used to that. And I remember in Jamaica when I was, everywhere you go you can hear Bob Marley music.
Oh,
And yeah, everywhere. So um, yeah. mm, Talking about other places, it's not that you can hear outside somewhere music unless it's uh, some celebration or something, but in cafes or restaurants you can hear some kind of music. But in Europe usually there are the same music, you know, European, so the popular one, so nothing particular about it.
okay. It just popped up in the mind. What about best New Year celebrations? That you talked about celebration. So, what's the best place you have ever had the best celebration of New Year?
Of a new year, uh, because I can say that India is the best for all celebrations, because they're celebrating very long, and the celebrations are they have a lot of celebrations actually in India. I'm
Mm.
not just talking about New Year, but it's a lot of celebrations. Almost every day is a celebration of something, and about New Year, I guess one of my best New Years were in. Maybe I could say in Italy, because I was going with one project that was related with Christian people, and we were going to a community and celebrating that New Year with different people from different countries, and that was really nice celebration, I could say.
Okay. So, I guess that's it for pretty much for today. And I look forward that we soon can be connecting again to hear something about your counseling part as well.
Yes.
Uh, if you get some time in future. So I look forward to hear about the counseling and like mentoring things from your side. And it was pleasure talking to you, listening your stories, that embarrassing story with your child. I'm sure I'm going to remember that. Okay. So thanks a lot for your time, Florentina. It was pleasure talking to you. And I look forward to have you again on the podcast. And thanks a lot again. If you have some final words, and I look forward that you visit someday Pakistan, my homeland, and you will be pleased, you know. by the welcoming nature of our people as well as the beauty we have in Pakistan.
I would
So
like to.
thanks a lot. So
Okay.
I'll be pleased meeting you here in Pakistan for sure.
Okay. Okay, thank you
Okay,
so much for this evening. That was really nice to talk with you.
okay. Looking forward for some another session with some more stories, and it was pleasure talking to you. Thanks a lot. Okay, listeners, till the next podcast, I guess you must have enjoyed the numerous stories and the experience Florentina has shared. So, with the next podcast, I say a good bye bye to everyone.